Hey there, everybody. Welcome. It is Tuesday, August the 7th, and we are celebrating our July rank advancements. And rank advancements in OptiV are just a measure of the people that we're serving. So we are so honored and thrilled to have you guys join us, and thank you for joining us to learn what are some of the secrets to success. We didn't have a ton of rank ups we had a huge month in July as a team, and we we had two senior coaches, an associate director, and who couldn't be with us tonight. And then we had a new integrated national director, Meg Johnson. We're going to hear from her. And so we're going to introduce our senior coaches first, and then Meg's going to share with us for the remainder of the time. And I would love for you guys to ask any questions that you have. So jot down any questions that, how do you, reach integrated national? What are some of the tips and successes, or the secrets, or the mindset? I'll ask a few questions and then we'll let her go. But I have to tell you that the number one secret to reaching integrated national director and all that it brings is being on these calls. And I have to share with you that my coach would have a call, and there'd be maybe 20 people, and then the next week there'd be 10 people, and then by the third week there would be 3 people. And all 3 of us became integrated nationals. So I'm just saying that there is a method to this. Just showing up matters a lot. So anyway, Nicole, why don't you introduce, or let's see, we have Rachel has a new senior coach, Amanda. So Rachel, why don't you come off mute and introduce us to Amanda? She's a new coach and senior coach.
Rachel, hold on, because when Rachel became an executive director, she wasn't able to be on this call. So I just want to congratulate Rachel for reaching executive director 2nd month in a row. And so she's going to introduce her new senior coach. So go ahead, Rach.
Thank you. Yeah, I am really excited to introduce Amanda. She's actually a family friend of ours, and she actually has started her journey a few months ago and has completely rocked it. And it has been an inspiration for me to see her and her entire family joining in on her journey. So she decided to be a health coach, and now look at her. She's now senior coach. So Amanda,
I will try and introduce you. I'm going to unmute you, Amanda. There you go. You're unmuted.
Okay, and I'm almost on video with you guys, so I'm so sorry. So yeah, my name is Amanda, and I just became a coach recently. I've been with Optivia for a short period of time, but I've been watching Rachel for quite a while. I'm like the forever present skeptic, thinking oh, I've seen people lose weight, and how's that going to work, and is it going to stay off, or whatever the case may be. So I've watched Rachel from afar for a while, and this past March I turned 40, and I said, you know what, I want to do something for me. I want to do something for myself. This cannot be where I'm at 40. I wasn't happy with myself, and most importantly, I have a young daughter who's also part of the program, and she's in high school, and she struggled a little bit with her weight. And I said, I've been a really bad example as a mom, and so I just really wanted to be a better example. So we made a pact that we were going to do it together, and not tell anybody, and just to see if we could do it and stick with it. And it worked out really, really well. And about a month in, finally people were really starting to notice, and people in my family really wanted to get on the bandwagon and get involved as well. And so I told Rachel, I said, well, I think that this is going to be my thing. I mean, I love it. I love the people. I love the food. I love the community. And so I said, I want to help other people feel the way that myself and my daughter feel. And just recently, I just posted a picture of myself and my husband, and it hasn't been that long of time, but I'm down just shy of 50 pounds. He's down just shy of 40. And my phone has been lit up like a flippin' Christmas tree. And yesterday I just signed up a new client, and then I literally 5 minutes before this meeting, I just met with a girl, and I'm going to be signing her up after this phone call. So I'm just super excited.
Well, that's darn cool, I have to say. And how cool it is. Thank you for inspiring, for watching, for researching, for joining, and now paying it forward. And I think there's just nothing better. So thank you, Amanda. I know we'll be hearing from you again.
Yeah.
All right. So, Lisa, I am just so honored to introduce you. Dee is away, and so she sent me something to say about you. I got a chance to, that you had been on her mind and her list for a long time. She loved your professionalism. She loved your heart. And a happy hour had y'all cross paths. And the timing was right. So that she admired that you captured the vision immediately. And you saw this vehicle, you had some coaching skills as a way to utilize your coaching skills and build your business. And she said, your story runs deep and you're going to touch many lives. And she just loves how you got into action right away. And I have to say, we were doing our introduction call, meet and greet. And I think you were at convention in 2 weeks and you made it happen. I mean, you really didn't, you were new, but you were serious and you made it happen. And just so excited to hear from you. Thank you so much for just jumping in and your professionalism. So can you share with us a little bit about, what you're excited about, kind of what you've learned along this journey, short as it's been? Been short. I'm going to unmute you. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it has been pretty short. And it's funny. Yeah, Dee and I have been stalking each other basically for several years, and kind of she said, tell me about this coaching you're doing. And I said, well, you tell me about the coaching you're doing, because I became a certified coach a few years ago. So life coaching, leadership coaching, and that's what I do during the day in my corporate job. And I've been looking for a way to build a coaching business outside of corporate America, so that can be my backup plan and ultimately my replacement plan. So I finally signed up on June 29th for Dee. I put her through the ringer with all my questions and all of my research, and I don't make many decisions lightly or quickly. So from April to June, I investigated and talked, and finally June 29th I signed up. And then my birthday was July 26th, and my goal was to have 5 people by my birthday. 5 clients by my birthday, and I did. And my very first client has become a coach a week into her program. So, and right here, this is what I attribute the secret to my success. The prayer, basically, it's 3 lines, and it is Lord, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be upon me and that you would keep me from evil. And it's the interesting thing about this book, it's a little book, it's a short read if any of you are interested. And the interesting thing about this book is kind of touches on the fact that we are all, or many of us are reluctant to ask for God's blessing because we feel like it's sort of selfish or self-serving, when in reality what we're asking for is for us to bless the world with our gift. And I feel like I have found that in the past few years that coaching is my purpose. And now I have also found my mission, because my passion for health and wellness combined with my purpose of coaching, I feel so convicted about this. And I just ask every day for who I can serve next. I signed up a new client this afternoon at lunch. And I'm just going to keep going, because so you guys don't know me, but about 12 years ago, I lost my husband to heart disease, and he left me a young widow with young children. And I've been raising them myself and holding down the fort, solo parenting, working full time. And thank God, I mean, I've had many blessings along the way, but my husband struggled with his weight his entire life. And he was a stress eater, and he was under an extraordinary amount of stress before he died. And I know that if he had found this program, he would be here today raising his kids and hugging his grandkids.
Wait, You could not. Did anyone miss that? We need to hear that again because it beeped off. I don't know, but we need to. Can you repeat what you said? I mean, we heard that he passed away, and before grandkids.
He passed away from heart disease, and he struggled with his weight his entire life, and he was a stress eater. And
Yep.
he was
That's the
very.
last thought. Yeah.
So you got all that?
The last thing you said. Yeah, the last thing you said.
That if he had discovered this program, he would be here today. Yeah, I know it. So, and someone spoke at convention. I don't remember who it was. There were so many speakers, but someone spoke at convention about, wanting to help the world get healthy so that everyone could be around to raise their kids and hug their grandkids. And that really spoke to me.
Well, bam. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is Jennifer on the, do y'all ever watch The Voice? Jennifer throws her shoe, thank you.
Oh.
And just, you touched. So we're so glad you're here, Lisa.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Okay, well, Meg, I just want to thank you for being on this mission and this journey. And we've never really on our team have had someone grow as fast as you and embrace kind of, and I hope you'll share that, you watched people. She go on the, line, and she go look at some of the leaders and what their Facebook page said, and she just did it. And I remember that's what I did when I was first started. We didn't have Facebook at the time, but we had regionals. And so I would go to a regional. I go to Florida. I go to San Francisco. I went to Austin, Texas. I would just, I just go wherever there was someone speaking something I wanted to hear and learn. So I was hungry. And so it looks like it's been a total easy road. Like, how does she do it? But you have had so many things come up and could get in your way. And so I just love for you to share. I always think success is a mindset, and there's a structure in place. So it's a way that we think, and it's what we do every day that keeps us going when we're not motivated. And so what are those things that you did to change so many people's lives in a huge way?
Well, thanks, Susan, for just having me on and asking me these questions. Honestly, when I started with OptiVia, I didn't want to create this massive business. I really wanted to help my mom get healthy, and I wanted to help like 5 people. I thought that'd be pretty cool. And so it just kind of evolved from there. And Lisa, your story, what you shared in your life, like, man, that really impacted me deeply, because that's my heart. Like, there's so many people out there that need what we have. And I feel like it's our responsibility to be out there talking about what OptiVia can do. And I feel like we have that responsibility on the health side, but now seeing how my financial world has changed and the impact to who I am as a person, how that's changed because I'm coaching other people, I feel like I've got a responsibility now to share this with every one of my clients. And they tell me no, and I still got to share it and keep on after them, because I just believe in it, and I know it can, I know what it can do. So I think that's my mindset, is I just feel that responsibility, and I want to share that with other people. As far as the structure, I tried to, every month, my goal is 5 new clients. And as I've grown now as coaching coaches, my goal is to help 2 new coaches get started. So that's kind of the structure as far as what I strive for each month, how I'm building. And that's been kind of at least 5 new clients has been since day one. That's just what Dee told me to do. And so, and a lot, I've just been listening, whatever, Susan and Dee and Nicole, whatever they say to do, I'm like, yep, y'all are the bomb. I'm just got to do what y'all are doing. So I all of y'all to thank for your leadership. But yeah, that's really what I would say as far as a structure is, every month just try to grow and be outside the box. I put new business always at the top of the list of all the things I've got to go to do and my priorities. And helping a new coach get started even goes on top of my personal new business now. So hopefully that helps. And you're muted, Susan.
To go a little bit deeper around that in terms of, because you have 2 small children at home, and you have a husband that travels and works. And I remember when you first got started, someone broke their leg. Your daughter broke her leg. Your mother-in-law is very ill, had an illness. Everything that could have happened to you to not be able to make this happen was in the way. I mean, there would be nothing worse, really, that, being in the hospital, your daughter couldn't go anywhere, and you were taking care of 2 kids and he was gone. So can you share about that and what had you even keep going?
Yeah. I mean, 2018 has been the worst year of our lives. Absolutely. I mean, if you look, every part of our life is exploding in front of our eyes, and not in really hard ways, right? I mean, we're dealing with significant things that are going on that we would never choose. And, when my business really started picking up, which was in January, Will was working 100 hours a week almost, and his job completely gone. I was left alone to do everything for the babies. And it's been really hard, but I think Optavia has saved me, if that makes sense, because it's been so hard, and Optavia has been like the light, right? Like the impact. I mean, what a privilege. Like, who am I to get to spread joy in the world, right? I mean, like I just got off the phone with a client who lost 50 pounds and told me she didn't think she could lose 20. And so it's like such a joy to get to help people lose weight and get healthy. It's such a joy to help people grow their businesses. And so I think when everything else in my life I can't control or I can't put together, Optavia is the good, right? And knowing that I'm doing good in the world makes me feel great. And knowing that I'm supporting my family. So last weekend, I got to buy my husband a car. This husband who worked so hard and has provided for our family for so many years, and we're like barely making it, to be able to bless him with a car was so, and listen, it was a Nissan Leaf, like it wasn't a Maserati, but still, it was, it was so fun to get to do that, and I go back to thinking when I first started to be a stay-at-home mom, we couldn't afford it at all. And so we literally sold his dream car. It was an Acura. We sold it so that we could afford for me to stay at home because we wanted to be around for our kiddos. And so now we got the Nissan Leaf because the government was paying you to drive on back then, right, with all the tax credits. And so now, 3 years later, to look around, we're like, pinch us. How are we in this, in this situation now where we can just buy a car in cash because it's the right thing to do. So I think I'm so grateful for the opportunity, not just, to help other people improve their lives and their health, but also to help my family and to know I'm making a difference there. And I get to be at home with my kiddos. I feel like I kind of won the lottery.
Well,
it's hard work, but it definitely, it's worth it.
You said that, that's such a great thing that you say about it being, congratulations for being able to buy your husband, the car. You did share about how you made a choice to give up a car just to stay at home. So, the fact that you can be at home and buy a car, hello, it is, win-win. But also, making the choice. One thing I noticed that working with coaches, a lot of times they will give up coaching or put it on the back burner because everything else is going wrong in their world. And I know I've asked this question more than once. I said, well, do you like coaching? Oh, I love it. This is, but I can't do it because this and this and this and this. And it's like, why would you, it's like, it doesn't make sense, but we do give up the great, you have one thing that's, it feeds your soul. If it's a good fit for you, and then we give it, you give it up because there's all these problems. And so just congratulations for not letting the obstacle get in the way and using it to be the way, because I got to tell you that you are going to be able to help someone make a choice. One of your coaches, all of us, we now are changed because you made that choice. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Does anybody have any questions for Meg? Questions, what she does, how she does it. I mean, I honestly do not know how she does it. She started 6 new coaches this past month, 2 months. And, and that's a lot. And she's got a very big frontline volume, and she's got 2 little kids. And I just don't even know how she does it. So.
Yeah, Meg, tell us how you do it.
Yeah, a lot of praying. Yeah.
So your total time in the business is 3 years?
No, I started in July of last year.
Oh,
So
last year. Okay.
15 months.
So Meg, are you building your business on social media? Is that your primary means of client acquisition and coach acquisition?
That's how I started. I just told my story. But right now, most of my new clients are coming from referrals of current clients. And then my coaches are all from my client list. So when I made ED, Dee said, and I didn't have any, I had one coach who asked to be a coach as a fluke. And I was like, I don't know what to do with you. Like, I mean, you could be a coach, but and that didn't go well. So anyways, so Dee told me when I made ED, okay, you've got 5 or 6 coaches at least in your client list. Like you like, just know that and let's start working them. And I was like, I don't know. And so then I was like, bam, like actually, yeah. And now I think, I really believe for every client that you have, that's a really good likelihood that you could have a coach. Like I share coaching to almost everybody at this point. Not everybody says yes. A lot of people tell me no. Most everybody tells me no the first 4 times I bring it up. And I try to, whenever I bring it up, I try to just be sensitive, to the spirit, right? And like what I feel like is the right thing to say. And I try to never put any pressure on people, because the last thing I want is to drag anybody along. Like I want people that want to run next to me, and I'll sprint with you, but I don't have time to drag, right? And so, yeah, so I think that was what was really helpful, is knowing, okay, I've got some clients in here, now I just got to find them. So now I don't really post that much on Facebook anymore. That's a growth opportunity that I need to do better at, but I'm just kind of treading water at the moment.
So pretend that I'm a client. How do you offer coaching?
Okay. So if you're a client, if I see you're posting in the Facebook group and maybe encouraging somebody else, I'm going to screenshot it and I'll text it to you and I'll say, look at you, you're already coaching somebody else. So if I see that, that's one way. If you tell me you're going to cancel because you don't have money for your second month, I'm going to tell you about the coaching opportunity and what it has done for me financially and so many other people, right? Give you that opportunity. When you when we're like the girl, we just celebrated her 50 pounds and she said, Meg, and I've been working on her for 6 months to be a coach. And she said, Meg, the only reason I did this was because I trusted you. Well, I said, well, I wonder who is waiting to say yes because you haven't said yes to being a coach, which was kind of bold. Yeah. But I just felt like it was the right, I asked permission first. I said, can I be bold? And she said, yes. And I said, I got to be honest. Like, I wonder who is waiting to get healthy because you haven't said yes yet. And I'm pretty sure she's going to say yes now. I mean, it was I've been waiting for that conversation for 6 months and praying for it. So that's one way. If we're celebrating, a lot of times, so one of the things we've been starting to do a better job of is first week celebration call or month 1 celebration call. Bring them to a call with your business coach, right? And they bring up coaching on the call. So I was afraid to do this with somebody who's like a big fish last week. And so Dee brought up coaching and I was like, whoo. And so I talked to her today and I was able to continue that conversation because I was afraid. So don't be afraid to use your business coach who, doesn't have skin in the game for that too, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that helps.
Those are great ideas. Very helpful.
Very valuable. Those are great. And then if someone says no, like what do they say no to? I mean, what do they say when they say no? What's a couple examples of what a no looks like?
They'll say, do what?
You don't remember them. You have to pause. You don't remember them.
No, it happens all the time. All the time. People will say, I just don't know anybody, or I just don't think I have time for that, or I'm afraid, like, what if I'm not good at it, or, all the fears that we all have, right? Like, I had them. I said no to D for like months on being a coach. So I can relate to all those fears because I felt them. And so I just try to speak truth when I hear that fear and the lie that they're believing, like there's another side of that, and that's truth. And so I'm there just like we do with our clients. Like I always tell my clients, I know you don't think this is going to work, and that's okay. I'm going to carry the beacon of hope until you're ready to take it from me. I say that to a potential coach. Like, I know you don't think this is going to work. It's kind of low risk because you can get your money back, right, within the first year, which by the way is awesome, but nobody does that because it's awesome. But I'll carry that beacon of hope until you're ready to take it from me.
Beautiful. Anything else? A couple more minutes. We got 2 more minutes to.
So what is your story, Meg?
Yeah. So I was a stay-at-home mom, needed to lose 30 pounds, and I tried Weight Watchers. I tried burning 600 calories in the gym, and then I'd come home and eat spaghetti and drink wine, which scale didn't move. Who would have thought? So I ended up calling Dee from a dressing room at TJ Maxx because I was buying all black and couldn't see myself in the mirror. And she told me about the program. I told her no. We first talked in December. I started program in May. So I told her no for a while, and she kept on sending me Facebook messages and before and afters. And eventually it was Mother's Day. And I told Will, I was like, because remember, we didn't have money, like no money. So this was my Mother's Day gift. Will was like, okay, I'm going to buy you this for Mother's Day since this is what you want, which by the way, best Mother's Day gift ever. And by the way, when I asked him if I could be a business coach, because remember, we didn't have money, he goes, please, Meg, just break even. And he said, in fact, you can spend every dollar however you want to, and I will pay all the taxes. And now, like, I remind him of that now all the time. I'm like, remember when you said you were going to pay my taxes? Let's talk about this. Because we just didn't know. And we couldn't even imagine what our reality would be. We didn't even have hope.
It's a great story. That's awesome. I can see why it was so powerfully attractive to other people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are people, how are you approaching the financial, like when somebody says they don't have enough money? Because I'll hear that too. And I always have a little bit of a stumble there. Like, I know it, I know coaching offers value. I know, but you can still see that I stumble with that. So what do you say to somebody? How do you explain the financial benefits of the coaching option?
You mean the $199 coaching kit?
No, I mean, like if they say I can't do the program because it's too expensive, or I've done it 1 month, that's all I can afford. Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned that that's a next step for you to introduce coaching to them. I'm wondering how you represent coaching as an answer to their financial need.
Yeah. So whenever somebody tells me they can't afford the program, I break it down per day, and I'm like, it's about $13 a day. I don't know about you, but I go to Starbucks and spend $11, right? I mean, so breaking it down for them seems to really help, because if pretty much anybody, as long as you're not living on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, if you really add up what you're spending, you're probably going to break even, right? I really believe this program is cost neutral for just about everybody. And I'll tell them that from the front end. Obviously we know what their health is worth, right? And the cost of illness and just not being confident. Like, how empowering is it to open up your closet and know you can wear anything in there? So, but for me, when I'm doing a health assessment, I'm focusing on their why. And, I go pretty deep. And why does this matter? Like, why do you want to lose 30 pounds? What's that going to feel like? How ready are you to do what it takes? And once they say all those things out loud and they're like, I'm ready, then it seems like the cost isn't really an issue. As far as when they're doing the program, if they're like, you know, I just can't afford it, whatever, I say, I was like, you know, I'll say something like, totally get it. Just so you know, another opportunity that could help pay the cost of your food is if you walked alongside and helped somebody else get healthy. If you help about 5 people, it's about paying the cost of your food. So, and I let them know, I'll walk you through what that looks like in that process. And honestly, it's really only worked, I think, for one person, but that person made director. I mean, you know, did really well for her family. Hopefully that helps.
Yes, it
Very
does.
nice.
Thank you. Those questions are great, Liz. Thank you, Lisa, for asking questions. And all right, we will, you know, I like the forum of asking questions. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Congratulations, Amanda. I know they have to hop off for a call. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Dee, Mag. And just thank you all for being on the call and for learning and growing and supporting our team members who are growing. So like I say, we're all in this together, and I can't thank you guys enough. So have a nice evening, everybody. I'll post the
Bye.
playback.
Thank you.